Green Party candidate Jill Stein got after AOC during an interview with The Breakfast Club, and AOC seems to have gotten her feelings hurt. During a recent interview with The Breakfast Club, Jill Stein called out AOC as just parroting Democratic Party talking points and following her marching orders. As many of you all may recall, AOC came out during an Instagram live video and put out lie after lie after lie, saying that Jill Stein ran a bunch of times in a row recently for president, which is not true, saying that they don't run local and state candidates and they don't win local and state elections, which is also not true. And probably the most egregious, which is that AOC herself actually supports independent parties outside of the duopoly of the Democratic and Republican parties. And Angela Rye was just so upset that Jill Stein had the audacity to call out AOC on her bullshit. But we're gonna get back to that in a second. AOC responded to the clip by saying that nobody needs talking points to know that Jill Stein hasn't won so much as a bingo game in the last decade. And if you actually give a damn about people, you organize, build power and infrastructure, and win. So it's probably important to say that wasn't actually AOC's original argument when all of this started. It was that she doesn't do anything to help the Green Party and the Green Party doesn't do anything to win or organize. And all those things were debunked thoroughly. And as far as winning is concerned, AOC probably needs to be reminded of a few things. AOC, yeah, you won an election after a district was gentrified, but like, did you really win? Can we call it a victory? Because what has AOC actually gotten done since she's been in Congress? And considering over the last 4 years, she actually could not use the excuse, we had a Republican president and we've had a Republican-dominated Congress and Senate. We need some answers. Because has Jill Stein won president? No. But you and I both know the Democrats and Republicans rigged the process. I mean, right now, they're trying to get Jill Stein thrown off of ballots. We know they don't let her speak on the debate stage, and you have nothing to say about your party undermining democracy, but you want to brag like you winning in office is some type of victory for everybody. But let's talk about the fact that AOC likes to brag about winning, except for the fact that one of her policies that got her the victory was the Green New Deal, which was founded by the Green Party. Or the fact that AOC doesn't like to discuss all that much, which is that her campaign manager and many of the people in her campaign were Green Party members. Running a Green Party campaign, it's just that they were doing so at the time under a Democratic ticket, which means they weren't being undermined in the same way that they normally would, which is how AOC was able to win. Proving once again that it's not really necessarily a problem with the Green Party itself nor Jill Stein, but the system. Oh, and by the way, after she won that primary and then subsequently won her election, she tossed all of the Green Party members out like trash. Didn't bring one into her staff. But even after the Green Party members and their platform got AOC that W, she's done nothing since she's been in Congress. So like, yeah, I guess that technically you've won because you're a part of Congress, but like you've been a part of Congress like the Detroit Lions have been a part of the NFL until very recently. Like, yeah, technically speaking, you play on Sundays and you're a part of the NFL, but like you ain't did shit in 50 years. That's you in Congress. And I'm not being hyperbolic. This is my hotspot colleague right here, Nick, calling her out, showing her that she's been one of the most ineffective lawmakers in Congress, but wants to talk about winning. So outside of the one victory that the Green Party helped her get, AOC herself hasn't won shit except for book deals and tickets to the Met Gala. Oh, and Miss Angela Rye with the woe is me. How could you dare say that a woman of color is just parroting talking points? At least she's won.
Of AOC the other day, who is taking her marching orders from the DNC. This is exactly what they say, that we are only running for president.
Women of color as parroting talking points instead of us looking at basic math. The one thing that AOC has done that you haven't is win some elections.
Angela, as a staunch supporter of Kamala Harris, you should know probably better than anybody. All women of color in the Democratic Party do is parrot talking points because that's all anybody in the Democratic Party does. I mean, AOC finally was willing to call this a genocide and call out Joe Biden. And then the moment Kamala Harris gets the nomination, she's speaking at her convention, endorsing her and ignoring the genocide. So what would you call that other than parroting talking points? What's crazy is that Angela has actually been an advisor to the CBC. So she knows exactly how the Democrats use people of color to throw us under the bus. But she still stands in there on her little profile picture with her black power fist like she speaks for us. Nah, Trick, you a sellout just like them, which is why you and Kamala get along so well. I don't want to hear another motherfucking Democrat or liberal talk about winning and not winning, unless you are willing to call out your party for all of the ways they've undermined democracy and taken the vote away from the people that they're supposed to be representing. If you ain't got nothing to say about that, shut the fuck up about these vapid political victories that don't mean shit by the time people at AOC get to DC and throw us under the fucking bus.